Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog .stampwithelaine.com and welcome to my 2018 12-week Countdown to Christmas series. This is published every Friday until the 7th of December. Today's project, in episode 9, I am making a box. You're probably wondering what's inside them. These are bespoke boxes to hold these kitchen craft cake testers. I was on holiday recently and I found these in the kitchen shop in Portmeirion and they are gorgeous. I think it's made out of silicone rubber. It feels a bit rubbery. Or you can use it as a table favour. It's something different from having just sweets and things all the time. And you can customise it to suit the person you're giving it to. I'm going to be using the Snow is Glistening photopolymer stamp set. This is only available in November for a limited time, as well as the Snowfall Thinlit dies. Now these are the most fabulous snowflakes I've ever seen. Included in the set, there's also leaves and flowers and things that you can use for another set that's available in November only, which is the Happiness Surround set. And this is what the snowflakes will look like when they're cut, and I'm using this one here with some extra ones thrown in. You're going to need a piece of shaded spruce cardstock, and this has been cut at 6 inches by 10 3/8 inches. So that's the half, and we just come in one notch for the 10 3/8. You need to keep that scrap to punch out this tiny little bit for the label. Scraps of Whisper White, Petal Pink and Sparkle Glimmer paper. I'm also using the white velvet sheets, which is also available just in November, and I covered it on the back with the multi-purpose adhesive sheets so that it would be easy for me to adhere the snowflakes. Tranquil Tide ink. You need a 1/2 inch, 1 inch and 1 1/4 inch circle punch. Also the 1 3/8 scallop circle punch. Smallest layering circle die. I also need some linen thread, and I'm using the metallic ribbon combo, and we're using the petal pink one this time. Last but not least, the magnetic platform and your cutting plates and Big Shot. So let's get started. Just to reiterate, this is 6 inches by 10 3/8 inches. In metric, that's 15.2 centimeters by 26.35 centimeters. With a short side on top, you score at 2 1/4 inches, 2 3/4 inches, 5 inches, and 5 1/2 inches. In metric, that will be 5.7 centimeters, 12.7 centimeters, and 14 centimeters. Then you rotate your cardstock 90 degrees clockwise, and you score on the long side, on the 10 3/8 inches side at the top, at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 9 3/8 inches, and 9 7/8 inches. In metric, that will be 1.3, 2.5, 23.8 and 25.1 centimeters. Now that you've done all your scoring, let's burnish the lines. I've marked it in white, the hashed areas where we need to cut. So let's cut on the short side these 4 panels here. So you cut up straight up on that score line up to the second score line on the short side, like so. and then turn it 180 degrees and do the other side. So those are your flaps cut. The two narrow score lines are at the top, and then this section you have facing you is the 2 1/4 panel. So you want to cut along there. Okay, then these are the flaps for the inside of the box, so you want to cut those off as well. Turn it 180 degrees and then just cut up just to the first score line, and then cut off that piece there, and do the same for this side. Take a 1/2-inch circle punch and center it in the middle of this panel here without the flaps. So the 2 1/2-inch flaps should be on your left, and then just do it halfway and on the opposite side as well. I'm just going to neaten up this. I'll cut that into a little sliver, the tiniest sliver. Now this is optional. Unfortunately, the corner rounder punch has now retired, and there is a punch called the which is a 3-in-1 punch, but unfortunately I did try it on this and wasn't frightfully successful. So there are some things that I won't give up, and this corner rounder was one of them. So if you still got yours, by all means use it, and if you haven't, then you just have to cut it by eye. Now I want to do a bit of stamping, so I'm just going to bring in my Tranquil Tide stamp and maybe stamp at random just here. Then I'm going to use this image here and stamp just below the score line here. Hold it for a second until the ink absorbs, and then do the same for the top. I'm also going to run some tear and tape on this last flap here. Set it aside while I die cut my snowflakes. Bring in my magnetic platform and my base cutting plate. I've picked out the swirly snowflake die and 6 other snowflakes that would fit on this 2.5 by 6-inch white velvet sheet. It's already got the multi-purpose adhesive sheet on the back. Now I've made my sandwich, so it's the magnetic platform, base cutting plate, cardstock, the dies with the cutting edge face down, and then the top cutting plate on top. Now I'm going to do something. I'll flip that over now that I've made my sandwich so that the cutting edge is face up, and then I'll run that through the Big Shot. These dies are very detailed, so I want to make sure that it cuts through and the contact with the roller is uppermost. I've die cut my pieces. Oops, this one's stuck on, so let's run that over to make sure. Also die cut the 1 1/8 inch circle with the smallest of the layering circle dies at the same time. Now it's time to glue these on your box. It's time to assemble the box. Peel off that protective tape, fold that back and bring this side over the top. Okay, actually I may want to do a bit more stamping there because it looks a bit bare. Fold my box down flat and I can just stamp a couple more snowflakes in the empty spaces. Last stretch, that's the bottom of the box. Close it up and pop that in. Oh no, that's an epic fail. Of course I forgot to measure this one. This one's much taller than the other. It never occurred to me. Anyway, so there you go. It will fit the round one, but I have to size the box differently for the tree. So I stopped the recording and went back to the drawing board and made one to fit this tree cake tester. So everything else is the same except for the size of the cardstock. The short side scored is the same, but the long side and the size of the cardstock is 6 inches by 11 1/8. That's 15.2 by 28.3. And then on the long side, instead of scoring on the 9 3/8, you score on the 10 1/8 and 10 5/8. And in metric that will be 25.7 and 27 centimeters. This time it will fit. So I've gone through the process, I've glued all my bits on, we assembled the box, and this time, hey presto, this will go in and it will fit. Oh, what a boo-boo. Just a bit more stamping. Back with the shaded spruce ink pad. Stamp for you. Take the 1-inch circle punch and punch that out. Use the little snowflake die, stamp off, stamp on, and again on the bottom. Bit of glue on the back of my sentiment, center it onto the shaded spruce piece. 1 1/4 inch circle punch to punch out a bit of sparkle. Use the 1/2 inch circle punch and punch out the center so this looks like a donut. Then take the 1 3/8 scallop circle punch and punch out in petal pink. Apply adhesive Tombow glue on the back, center it on this, grab a dimensional, put it in the center, and then center that on top. Grab some linen thread, snip off a bit. Now you need a tapestry needle because that will make your life a lot easier. Thread it through, and then where the middle is, poke that through. Grab your ribbon, and pop your sentiment on, and then just leave that loose. I think, change my mind. Loop it through and tie a knot. Pull it tight, snip it off, pull that round so the knot won't show, it's on the back. Then loop this over, take your loose end through, tuck it in, hold on to that and just pull from the left. And before you pull it tight, just adjust the bow and you will get a nice flat knot like so. then all you have to do is just trim it off. So there you have it, sort of bespoke gift packaging for these cake testers. Just don't do what I did. Remember to measure the size of the item you want to package before going ahead and doing the project. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll be back with more next week. Bye!